doing?
I'm doing the warm-ups for One Watched.
Why?
Because I want to have a good voice. You know, warm up the vocals.
For a One Watched?
Yeah.
You're rehearsing and preparing for one of our One Watched.
Yeah, I'm over-preparer.
Okay.
Your turn. Warm up. Don't be shit. You need to be good. I'm already warm.
Okay, anyone got an idea for an intro for the actual audio?
Hi.
Hi, welcome to One Watch. We watch things, we talk about Sam Tom, and Gemma's back. Yay!
Hey.
She came in, she recorded one, she took a pie, and she came back. Yay! It wasn't a one and done. I'm never working with those guys again. Thank you for coming back, Gemma. How are you?
Thank you. I am well.
Yay! and you didn't bring notes this time. It's all off the cuff.
It is. It really is this time.
Hooray!
I'm nervous.
Relax.
But I'm always relaxed.
Yeah,
I'm nervous.
Not with me and Tom. It's not worth the stress.
Okay.
Or do it right, and it's really serious. Whichever's going to get the best One Watch.
Get us loads of views.
Yeah.
I will. I did last time.
Yeah, it was something like 300. That one.
Nice. Yeah, just keep sharing
Yeah.
it. Like, this has got Gemma in it. Gemma's in this one.
Yeah,
Watch the whole thing. You'll keep hearing Gemma.
Picture will be up. Yeah, if you want Gemma to do things, put in the comments. Maybe we can get her back and do other intros.
Yeah.
Yeah. With Gemma's consent. This isn't a Weinstein production. Anyway, right. One Watch. We watch things, we talk about them. Gemma, have you watched anything you'd like to talk? Tom's here too, and Sam, but it's a Gemma show.
Yeah.
Have you watched anything that you'd like to talk about, Gemma?
Yeah, I watched Collateral Beauty with Will Smith in and Keira Knightley and
Collateral
Meryl Streep.
Beauty.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a story about a guy. It's actually quite a sad subject. It's about a guy, Will Smith, who loses his daughter, and he finds it very difficult to cope with. And he's working with these other people who are Kate Winslet and a couple of other people who are just as important, but I don't know their names, so I'm not. That's when I want my notes. That's why I want my notes, because I want to actually mention the other actors who were just as good, if not some of them. Some of them actually stood out.
Better than Kate Winslet and Will Smith.
Well, I don't want to say better, just like there was. I'll explain the story because I don't want to.
Yeah.
And then I'll get to one of the actors who I think kind of stood out.
So Will Smith.
So Will Smith is. Yeah, his child has died and he's just kind of given up on life, but he keeps making these. Like domino things that just like massive domino things that just keep going round and round and round. And his friends want him to feel better, but they work at a job, and I don't really get this part of the story, but I think it doesn't really. I'll explain it as best I can. So their job is kind of on the line because of him. And they want something to prove to their job that he's mentally unstable.
Will Smith's?
Yeah.
Right.
So they kind of go about it in a bit of a dodgy way to try and prove. So they like snoop around his stuff and they find that he's been sending letters to love, time and death.
Right.
And then they kind of talk about it and they say, well, this doesn't prove that he's mentally unstable. This is therapy. You know, people write letters and stuff, and they were reading them, and they were quite dark. Like he was sort of like saying, "Death, why have you took her? Why couldn't you take me?" But at the same time, they were like, "It doesn't really prove it. We need something a bit more substantial." So they hire actors to. Actually, I might be spoiling it a bit because I don't think in the trailer they say this.
Okay, so they're trying to prove Will Smith's crazy in order to justify their employment.
Yeah.
And they go to nefarious means to do this.
They do, yeah. And
right. Should have just shot him After Earth.
I've watched. Wait, have I watched After Earth?
You don't.
Yeah.
Don't.
I know. I fell asleep. Oh no, that sounds bad. No, but I did fall asleep.
It was bad. It was a bad film.
But I liked the premise of the reason why I watched it was because of the line "Fear is not real." That's the one. Isn't it?
That's the tagline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I watched it, and I heard that line, and so
And
job done. So
I'm going to spend money to go and sit for 2 hours and watch this.
Oh wait, I did. Scrap that.
I'm going to waste time for 2 hours to watch this film just to hear the line.
Yeah, no.
But then
I like
the
Will
line
Smith. I like him as an actor. So anyway, Meryl Streep's really good in it. I like her because she plays this actress, and she's just really glad that she's got this job to try and like convince. So she plays Death. Keira Knightley plays Love, and then this other actor that I liked, who I don't know his name, but he's younger, and he plays Time. And basically, Will Smith has these encounters with them, and he thinks he's going crazy because he's meeting Death, Love and Time.
Yeah.
And the film basically explores issues around when someone's in that place of hating life.
Yeah.
And then his conversations with Death, Love and Time are like unravelling.
Yeah.
The fact that it might not... He might be able to find the collateral beauty within the...
Got you. So it's kind of like a deep exploration of self kind of film, but it's on the surface, from the plot summary, it is a bunch of people confidence trick a bereaved father in order to make money.
Yeah. And they do explore that as a...
The morality.
Yeah, they do, because...
Good, they fucking should.
No, Keira Knightley's character is the one that's like, no, I am not doing this, this is wrong. But that's why she plays Love, like, and that's why she...
So she'll do it, but... So was she doing that because she didn't think it was right, or just because she wanted the best part?
Who knows?
Could be either.
It could be. And that's what I found kind of interesting for me as well as an actor, is like, where is the morality lines?
Yeah. Would you play, like, if I wanted to make Tom go crazy, would you play, like, I don't know, Backache?
Backache?
Tom writes letters to Backache. If you, hypothetically, Tom has started writing letters to Backache, and I go, right, I want to prove Tom's crazy because there's money in it. Gemma, you can have a cut, like 20% or something, which is better than, some agent fees. Will you act as Backache? Would you do that?
Probably not.
Is that because it's Backache or because it's the manipulation bit? Because he might write other letters. Like,
I don't think it'd take much to prove that I'm crazy.
Oh!
You could basically just make me go insane.
I did.
It'd be much easier just to make me go insane if you were trying to do that.
We all go a little crazy sometimes. If I wrote the letters to Backache and then said you'd been writing them and then had Gemma act as Backache. Oh, I've got it. Right, if there's ever money in that, get ready. I call it the Backache making money.
How would you play Backache?
I know, right?
Just walk around giving me the world's worst massage and then pretend that you're not there. That's the only thing I can think of. Walk around, basically hitting me in the back, but then anytime I confront you, you just pretend you're not really there.
Right. Okay, before we move on, so Collateral Beauty. It sounds quite interesting. Is it quite recent?
Yeah.
Okay. Will Smith. Mm-hmm. For a while, he was it didn't matter what film he was in, it was a full committed performance and usually a success. And that it could be the mainstream, like the iRobot, Independence Day, whatever, or it could be like Legend of Bagger Vance, or the one where he's giving all his organs away. Do you know the one I mean? £5, I think it is, or something.
I'm not sure. I feel like I've heard of it though.
There's one where he's dying and he slowly gives away all his organs until he can't survive, and then he gives it's a weird one. £7, I think £7. I just want
to put something in that was quite interesting because I watched an interview with him where he said that he was also going through, I think it was his dad's death at the time, or it happened during the filming. So
there was an element of real.
There was an element of real, and also there was one bit where because it was funny because there was an earlier part of the film where he said frigging, and I thought, oh, is he not going to swear? Like, that's a bit...
Yeah.
I just thought, why have they done that? Is it because it's like, I don't know, they're trying to make it, gloss it over a bit. And then later on in the film, he said the real swear word, and then, which I'm now glossing over. Like, I don't know, apparently PG.
Later on, he said freaking.
He said freaking. No, but he said it so, because he was arguing with, I think it was Death.
Yeah.
And he was like, I've heard it all. He was basically going through all the stuff, which is like all this. He was like calling it out like spiritual bullshit. Basically, he was calling it, which is interesting because they said he as a person, Will Smith, believes in all this stuff. So him to play a person that didn't believe it, and it was it kind of like me as well, because I go through it as people kind of just, I think from a judgmental point of view, sometimes people will think you just believe all this stuff and that's just who you are, like, all the time.
Yeah.
But actually it can be a very, like, traumatic thing because you're questioning things all the time, and sometimes you believe and sometimes you don't. And he's just like, I've heard all this before and she's still not fucking here. Like, and it was just, oh my God.
Felt real.
Like, felt real. I was just like, oh shit. And I'm swearing all over the place. Just because I teach kids and I'm just like, oh God. But never mind. Oh no, it does matter. But I didn't say any of those words.
I don't.
And actors as well, it's fine.
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
No.
Just don't share it to the kids.
Yeah.
I don't.
They wouldn't be listening by this point. So the Will Smith performance is good.
There was, and also I don't like to watch film just from a personal point of view. I don't think it's beneficial to watch films and. Are you okay?
I'm trying to put a cup down. Tom put a cup down, but he put it right between Jemma and the audio recording device. So I'm a bit like,
so you may not
want to
heard
take
any
that
of
risk?
that.
It won't make any difference. I was just playing it there because it would be quiet on that side.
It's
but
down
Sam's
now.
brought attention to it now, so there we go.
Well, there's tapping on the table.
I'll just
anyway,
like
but-
move slightly closer.
Okay, that was a nice sound
Nose
moment.
break.
Jemma,
Sorry.
you would say Will Smith's performance was good and you went into stuff.
Yeah, so what I was going to say is I don't mind if you ask me these questions, but I do actually, coming from an actor, so I've acted and I've watched stuff, and I don't think, and taught as well. Oh, good sound moment.
Nice. Didn't even know that was that.
You've acted and you
So
taught.
I think that when you watch a film, I don't think it's helpful for me to watch it and critique performances.
Okay.
Because I think it takes me out of potentially gaining something from the film. So, like, I've stopped doing that now. And if I do it, what I do is I just watch my own critique of it, and I think, would I want that on myself? Because whatever I do to another actor, I'm doing to myself, because it means that's that pressure, like.
Fair.
Even a director, like, it's like they've gone and they've done it. Even if I'm actually doing it myself, it's still like, it still doesn't benefit the creative arts. Like, I think it's hindered. That's like the number one thing that's hindered performing arts and creativity in my life, and what I've seen other people, is criticism that's not. That even if it's like constructive, of like, oh, but especially if it's like, I didn't enjoy that, or it wasn't very good. And unless you're actually involved in the production of it, where you can actually say, look, I think you should do this, slightly differently, or how about if we try this, because that's helpful, because obviously you're involved in it and you can help with, but once something's been made as a piece and it's kind of like, you know, it's gone, it's made, the only thing that's kind of helpful is how am I viewing this and how is it affecting my life and how is it gonna like how can I benefit people's lives by how I interpret it. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
You can have a less...
Yeah, I mean, criticism
think of it how you want.
For me, criticism is criticism. It's by the individual, but it's a good thing. I understand what you're getting at with the unless you were involved, you don't know. But then I could make a film that is just Passion of the Christ, and it's just a dude being tortured for 2 hours, and then say, well, you weren't there, you weren't part of the filming, so you don't get to have an opinion on this torture porn that I've put out and used like the Bible in order to sell it to middle class American white people. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think criticism for me is kind of what keeps people a bit more honest. I am cursed though. Like, even if if I'm really enjoying a film, I will start to go, I'm really, really enjoying this film, and then I want to understand what they've done that makes me want to enjoy it. And if I'm really hating it, then I'll be like, okay, why am I hating this? And it might be a technical side, an acting side, or the story. And if it's the story, that's fine, because then it's just not my story. But if it's the acting or the technical, then I want to know what they did. What did they do here? Why have they done this shot? Does that work? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Some of the worst films ever made, I love because they're so bad, but I can see the efforts there. We're talking like The Room or Birdemic and stuff. Like, but that's just me.
For me, like, watching films, if I'm noticing, that's taking me out of it and that's ruining the film for me. But I think that's more because I do more the editing side. So if I'm noticing the edits and the stuff that I would try to learn from film, then I'm not enjoying the film. That's why I'm noticing them.
I don't know if those two are separate though. Like Terminator 2, I watched Terminator 2 and look at, like, you can see when he's got tinfoil on him, the T-1000.
Do now. When I first watch it though.
But I still love it. Every time I watch it, I notice that and I'm like, oh yeah, they put tinfoil in there because of the budget, etc. And oh, look at the effect, and oh, they edited that so well, it still holds up. But I'm still loving Terminator. I don't think being taken out like that is necessarily...
See, that doesn't take me out.
Well, that's what you're talking about.
When I'm watching it, I know that that's there, but because I know that's there going in, it doesn't take me out. If I saw all that stuff the first time I watched it...
First time I watch it and I'll see stuff like that and I go, oh, they did that, or oh, they reverse shot there, or they're doing this combo and it's back and forth over the shoulders, and it doesn't ruin the combo for me. I just notice it, if that makes sense. It's then, if it's a good film, I'm doing that because I want to see how they're doing it. If it's bad, then it's bad and I'm like, oh, they haven't done this particularly well, or I feel sometimes it's plotting because I do a lot of the writing. It's like, why you were doing really well till here, but why have you gone this route? Like, that's really bad, or that character's not developed now, or kind of.
No,
which is a bit of a curse. But I don't think you being taken out like that is necessarily not enjoying it.
I would say I don't enjoy at least that scene. Not necessarily the whole film.
Okay.
But for me personally, like, I can't remember what film it is. There's one that's got an interrogation scene in it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another film that I don't enjoy called Doomsday.
Mm-hmm.
That you showed me. You know, they've got I think there's an interrogation scene in that as well. And they cross the line repeatedly over and over again. There's another film that's got that. I don't know what happens in that interrogation scene. I can't watch it. Like, I can't understand that. I just know it's an interrogation and then I continue watching the rest of the film.
But Doomsday isn't a good film.
No, Doomsday is awful.
That's why I showed it you.
Yeah.
What's this? It's awful. It's great.
But I've seen, there's another film that's got an interrogation that's very similar to that. The rest of the film's great, but
fair.
It's just one scene that they just repeatedly cross the line. It's just awkward.
We'll all have to agree to disagree because we've all posited 3 different theories to criticism.
I never disagree.
Oh.
I just listen to whatever's going on and then it's like, yeah,
fair.
I see that.
What would clearly you agree? You're doing another one.
I disagree because it's just like things are just yeah, you're saying that, I'm seeing this. It's like none of it is like really that serious.
Yes, because none of us have a gun.
Yeah.
If one of you had a gun, I'd be like, I agree. I just agree, don't shoot me.
What?
It's just the way it goes, isn't it? Tom had a gun, I'd be like, whoa, yeah, Tom's right. You're absolutely right. Shut up, Gemma, you don't know. Shoot her, Tom. I'm agreeing with you. That's self-preservation.
Fair enough.
Sorry. Right. One thing, Gemma, you've watched a few things, haven't you?
Yeah.
Tom, have you got anything you've watched?
I watched a few things.
Cool. I have like one thing I can talk about, but I don't know if I want to. So, would either of you like to talk about a thing?
Much less serious. I've been watching. I've recently finished watching Fawlty Towers.
Yay! I
Nice.
Yeah.
Can you do the
basically-
theme?
No.
Okay.
Basically, the last 2 weeks, I've been slowly going back and watching older and older, like, British sitcom-y things.
Well, you went Peep Show then Extras.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's going back so much as it's British comedy.
Yeah.
You've gone off anime and we're now on a British comedy fest.
Yeah.
You're currently at bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't like anime, just I like British comedy.
There's more to it.
Yeah.
It's some more bigger audience for British comedy, I feel.
Yeah.
Than
I just have watched more of it, so I understand it a bit better.
Yeah.
Fawlty Towers.
Fawlty Towers. I feel it still holds up.
Yeah.
A show that old that still holds up. It's great. I expected, going back to like that sort of generation of stuff, I expected to be loads of cringeworthy, like racist moments and things like that in it. There's not. There's areas that touch maybe slightly towards racism, but the joke's always on Basil.
Yeah.
Which is great.
One of the major punchlines is like he assaults his staff members.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And talks to them patronisingly. And the other one is he constantly threatens to hit Polly. Like he motivates his head.
Do you mean Sybil?
No. Sybil's his wife.
Yeah.
Polly's like the maid, the head maid woman. And he very regularly intimates that he's going to hit her or kick her if she doesn't do what he's demanding. So there are things that, like, you know, a boss wouldn't do now and get away with.
But the jokes,
the jokes hold up because the jokes aren't. It's not. Look, there's a black person. Isn't that black person funny? That's not the joke in Fawlty Towers.
They do. They have German guests in one of them.
Yes.
And he keeps telling everyone not to mention the war, but all he does the entire time that he talks to them is mention the war, and he just can't stop himself from doing it.
Isn't it why we're in an argument? Well, you started it. No, we didn't. You did. You invaded Poland.
That's one of the ones.
Yeah.
It's he comes in and he's like going a lot. Keeps saying the war. It's like, can we stop talking about the war? Well, you started it. No, we didn't. You did. You invaded Poland. You got like Manuel, who is amazing.
Yeah.
The actor who plays Manuel.
Bruno Sachs?
Yeah, physical acting.
Yeah.
He's a brilliant fucking actor. Like one of my favourite bits that he does like regularly, but there's one bit where he does it that I really like. He keeps getting hit, and then he has to he comes out to like get a tray, but Basil's still in the room. He just comes out and he looks like a sort of chimpanzee walking like as low down as he physically can, so he can't be hit round the head, like ducking under everyone.
Nice.
It's just a great show. Everyone should go back and watch it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You've seen it.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I used to watch it when I was younger. I think because my dad put it on. But yeah, I always found it really funny, and I just think it is one of those things that kind of like break. I don't know. You know, when a character's just doing something, you're like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
It's got that cringe and that.
But yeah, I'm thinking I might go back and watch it because I do like.
It holds up. I think what helps Fawlty Towers a lot, why it's sort of the reason. There's a bunch of reasons it's so special. One of them is that it's only 12 episodes.
Yeah,
that's it. 2 seasons, 6 episodes.
If it was made now, obviously the comedy's changed, so it won't be made now. But if like that was the style of comedy that was going now and it was made now, it would have tons of seasons and it would have been run dry. Right.
When I dated it and I said like, oh, you know, the threatened to hit a woman, etc. That's just things that you wouldn't put in a show now. But that's not necessarily like what Fawlty Towers was about and stuff. But the thing is, Fawlty Towers as well, like it would be a BBC One lowest common denominator thing. Like, it would be like the British Empire if you ever saw that. You wouldn't get the jokes and the kind of way that you get with Fawlty Towers. But the other thing I think that just makes it is John Cleese.
Yeah.
John Cleese's amazing. He left Monty Python at this point to do Fawlty Towers, completely different kind of thing, and he is amazing as this uptight, like, it's one of the famous things. But John Cleese with a tree hitting a car, and the pure physical nature of this slightly tall, gangly guy just hitting, but really pathetically not doing any damage, just like.
That's after having a go at the car for not having his back, because he's always been good to the car and he's been looking after the car.
He's a guy on the edge of a mental breakdown, but he just physically manages, and the madcap energy of it, just the way he runs, and he can make himself seem so big or so small in a scene. Like, John Cleese is an amazing comedic actor, I feel, and like Fawlty Towers shows that side where Monty Python kind of it was more about his timing and how naturally kind of sarcastic he can be. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because it's a sitcom, so everything's self-enclosed. All the episodes are self-enclosed.
Yeah, self-contained stories, yeah.
There is one episode that I really wish they had made, because of something, it'd actually be a follow-on from a last episode.
Right.
But I would have just loved to see what they did with it.
Yeah.
And he basically, it's the one with the Americans, and he basically, like, at the end of it, he has like this breakdown where there's like the Americans how they go in, and then all of his guests have complaints except for like Major and the two women. So he's like, well, either they go or I go. And Sybil's like, all right then, bye. So he leaves, and then he like gets partly down the road, and he's like tipping it down the frame, and he just gets this smile on his face. And he walks back in, and he just comes in and demands everything from Sybil that all the other guys had. He's like, I'd like to have a room. Room 12 free. I'd like this for breakfast. If there was just one episode, like, if either that was the last of all the episodes, or if there was one episode in between of just Basil being a guest, I would love to see what that episode would be. No, it moves on and it comes back.
I think I missed the part, and then I was like, I want to watch that episode. So
no, unfortunately, that's the end of the episode. It's him coming back in, and then it goes back to the equilibrium of a couple more episodes.
But it used to be equilibrium then.
If there's only one,
that is in it.
It's one episode. It's not each episode was written and broadcast separately. I'm not even sure they were filmed in the necessary order. There were recurring characters like the General.
Yeah.
You naughty moose. The Major, sorry. You naughty moose. But apart from that, it's...
Okay.
Well, I keep remembering moments now.
Right, we did this before, and it's really boring.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah,
but
Fawlty Towers is fucking brilliant.
Watch the German episode, watch the American episode. German episode's what I'm working. Yeah, at least...
Watch them all.
Yeah, watch them all.
The comedy, the one where they get an inspector and they don't know who it is just an all-round great episode. Like, just Fawlty Towers. Yeah. Really, 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 really good. Right, Jemma, would you like to talk about something else you've watched? You can say no, so I don't really fancy it, and talk about anything else if you want.
I'm trying to think which one. I watched the BFG.
Nice, the new one.
Yeah.
Nice. We talked about that with Ruth, I think.
Yeah.
Potentially, but that will probably be up after this one.
She probably, because I watched it on my birthday and I was quite tired, and I didn't fall asleep, but I was sort of, because I knew I had it on DVD. I knew I could watch it again. So, and I know the story. Yeah. So I was kind of like half on my phone, half watching. So. Which I feel does disservice to the film, because it was really good.
Fair play.
But not that I judge films, but you know, because. But yeah. I just thought it was stunning visuals.
Yeah.
I really like that idea. Anything that has like that idea of dreams is always really interesting to me. I love the book when I was little. I identify with Sophie. I played Sophie actually.
Did you?
Yeah. I did a schools tour when I was at Norton College. I played Sophie in the BFG, and we went round schools.
Performing the BFG?
Yeah.
Nice.
We did it at the school just down the road, yeah.
Nice. Did you ever watch the animated BFG film?
Yes. I used to watch that when I was little.
Yeah, I was going to say that was one of my childhood things.
Yeah.
It's like, I love it because it's got giants. It's got a great story. And yes, it has farting in it. And Berkeley's socially unacceptable farting is like polite. Yeah, Ruth talked about those farting dogs in the film.
Yeah.
I think that's the one remembrance I have from like what Ruth talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you, on stage, did you play out? Because you have a whole thing about body... Jemma has a thing about body functions. She's not a fan.
I can't remember, to be honest. All I remember...
Blocked out the memory.
All I remember is that I had a really, really long monologue at the beginning. And there was one part where I got like a tickle in my throat as I was singing. I wasn't singing. Saying the monologue, and I kind of had to clear my throat halfway through. So I remember that. And I also remember that we did it, because obviously on stage you have to do it slightly differently.
Yeah.
So the way that we did it is I made a doll that was representing Sophie, and I actually made it because we did it it was part of like our project.
Yeah.
So we had it in design, we made the dolls, and then we made the set, made the snozcumbers, all that.
Yes!
Like I was on props, so I made all
Nice.
It was so much fun. Like, I think that was my favourite bit of doing back, because I was never really as much into the backstage. It was interesting to me, but I was like, I want to be on the stage. But then it was really cool to actually just do something a bit different and make some stuff and be a part of that. So making the snozcumbers were fun, and then I made Sophie the doll, which then gave you the difference of height.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
Really fun. And I know a funny moment was we did like an end performance in a theatre, and a little girl asked for my autograph. Yeah. And I signed it Jemma, and she was like, "Who's Jemma? I wanted Sophie's autograph."
Who are you, loser?
Because obviously she wanted the Sophie.
That's a very early fangirl, isn't it?
Yeah. But I thought that was so cute and really humbling.
Right. I want to cut that off there, because I want... and then maybe the next one we record it if you come for a third one, if you're foolish enough. I want to do the actor special one with you. We've done 2 actor specials where we actually talk about someone's acting career, because stories like that. I can
maybe But we'll see what comes up.
It's really about like what you've done in acting your career. There's bits I know, obviously, and bits we've talked about not on, but it's just me and Tom asking and you talking about your acting stuff. Yeah. And that, if you're free next week or whenever, come. I would love to hear about your career so far and how you turned down a dark path and ended up with me and Tom. I would love to hear about that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
It's not a... You could say, it's not a dark path working with you guys. It's great if you wanted to. You don't have to say anything like that. I did give you fruit juice.
That is all the light I need.
Cool. BFG film. It's got good reviews and feedback. I haven't... Sorry, you go.
It's my dad liked it, so
I haven't brought myself to watch it. I didn't want to go to the cinema to pay for it because I love the book. There isn't a bad Roald Dahl book, and most of his films that are adaptations of his books, and Chitty Bang Bang's a bit of a mix for me. They're really good anyway, so I don't actively try and seek them out. I just find them when they're on. But I'm hoping this could be like a trend, because Charlie and Chocolate Factory's been done. Roald Dahl, like BFG's been done. I'm hoping. You ever seen The Witches?
Yeah.
Like a modern telling of the witches, people turn into mice or rats, or like that would be great. And the book no one seems to talk about, but I fucking love. You ever heard of the Twits?
Yeah.
Like
I played the Twit.
Were you in the Twits? Were you in the Twits?
Oh no! So I have.
No. This story will be on the next podcast. Yeah, you have to listen to the Jemma actor special to hear this story.
It's a very young. It was when I was at school. Yeah.
You want to tell it now, don't you? Go on, tell it now to play us out, Jemma.
Okay, I have lots of other actors. Well,
good.
Hopefully. I don't know. Oh, you broke my foot.
Oh no, I've killed it. That's the story.
No, it's fine. Okay, so my hair is very much like theirs now. Because it's
right.
like
To explain that. Her hair is curly.
It's curly. It's kind of big big waves.
Yeah.
Well, you'll see it on the
Will
beginning.
You'll see it on the beginning of the
Yeah.
But
video.
it probably wouldn't
yeah.
look that big then, but I don't know. I'm not sure, but sometimes it can go quite big because it's quite thick.
Yeah,
It's curly.
voluminous.
Volume. Which didn't used to be in style, so I used to straighten it every single day, so it was kind of flat.
Yeah.
And I'd get annoyed when it would curl up again. And then suddenly when Cheryl Cole, I don't know if she started it, Beyonce or somebody,
Right.
somebody started off this like big hair is in thing.
Right.
And I was like, great, this is my hair. I don't have to do anything.
Nice. So you were a kid in school with Beyonce and Cheryl Cole. You had their hair.
Oh, no.
Beyonce
okay.
came and you went, Beyonce, do hair like mine. Beyonce went, yes.
No,
and
that's
became...
the future story.
Okay, right.
No. So I was at school and we were doing Roald Dahl stories, and all my friends got to be the witches, so they got to dress up in, because even though the witches don't actually look, well,
they're not meant to look like
they're
witches.
not-
They're meant to look like elderly people's grandmothers
no,
and stuff.
well,
Except the head witch.
yeah, they're kind
Except
of
the head
like
witch
they're
with the
fake,
nose.
aren't they? I can't
Yeah,
really
yeah.
remember the story, but I think they don't have any hair.
They have wigs and they have like some of them have slightly flattened noses
Yeah.
or patches over their boils and stuff.
So they're actually not that glam underneath it, but I think they were playing the part where they are. So they had like all
Yeah.
glamorous stuff on, and this was, I don't know, I was about 11 or something, so it's probably a bit. But I wanted to look like that, as all you do when you're little, and then I'm sure you did.
Yeah, I
You
wanted
wanted the
to be
fake Naomi.
dude. I wanted to be a witch. Yeah.
And then
Well, Xena Warrior
and then
Princess.
I got cast as a twit, Mrs. Twit.
Oh, nice. Oh, see,
But
right.
this
as
is
a-
the thing, I can't appreciate it as a kid.
Yeah, I'm going to say, as a kid, I can understand why you wouldn't want to be that disgusting older lady.
And-
but as an actor, that role, you could have so much fun doing.
I did, but the only problem is there was a guy that I fancied in the audience, and I didn't want to be Mrs. Twit. I wanted to be a witch who could be all the thing. But it doesn't really matter. When I'm older, I'm like, yeah, I could really have gone with it, but I kind of like probably held back because I was like, oh my god,
I don't want to embarrass myself any
Yeah.
further, even though I'm
Yeah.
dressed up like Mrs.
which
Twit.
is absolutely ridiculous, and yeah, silly.
So we need closure. How did it go with the guy in the audience? Did your performance as Mrs. Twit win him over?
I
You
don't
were
want to talk
11,
about it.
so
I don't want to talk about
you
it. I
probably had
he actually
sex
asked
several
me-
times by now.
He actually asked me on a date when I was older.
Right, and did he go, I remember you,
I did go
you were
out with
Mrs.
him,
Twit,
and
let's date.
Then I didn't.
Okay.
It didn't work out.
He was an awful person.
No, he
No.
wasn't. He wasn't an awful person.
It just didn't work
It
out.
just didn't work out.
Cool, that's the closure enough. We will leave it there. I'm not going to say
Yeah.
anything. You're looking at me like, Sam, what's your killer line here? No, I'm not touching that with a 40-foot pole. Like, that's... No, we're ending this one watch here. Thanks very much, Gemma. Thank you for coming along. Did you enjoy it? Was it worth the second run?
That's
Yes.
a no.
I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of thinking, this is how my brain works.
Yeah.
I say something and then I'm like, did I need to tell that story? Why did I tell that story? I should have left it till next week.
Well, you will... I'll
We'll
send
tell
you
you again
this...
next week.
Yeah.
But then I think there's no point thinking like that. It's all good.
No, and also, when I say, like, did you enjoy recording it or whatever, what I'm looking for is a really quick yes. It's not
No,
even
but-
really a question.
Yeah,
it's
but I am
say
not
yes.
even. I'm not even with you at that moment. This is how I'm explaining how my mind works. So this is not all the time, by the way. This is not all the time. So half of the time, I'm like, you could probably get this by now. Half of the time, like, well, this is how I see myself. Whatever. Half of the time, I'm this really like present in the moment, like focused and whatever. And then there's these little moments in between where I'm just like somewhere else. Like you are right now on your phone.
Sorry, I've just seen... We have a kind of an audition after this, and times got mixed up, and I've just seen a message that was, I'm going to come early, and I was like, oh, shit.
Well, that's fine. We've wrapped up.
We've finished. No, but your brain, you sometimes get distracted and don't listen to what I'm saying. It's a terrible trait. When we work together on films, we'll have to just say, the one rule is, Jem always listens to Sam and says yes whenever he asks if you've enjoyed it.
I think that I'm getting a lot better at it though. And I've not been distracted a lot of this time, so...
When you paused, I didn't think, Gemma's distracted. I thought, she's genuinely considering whether it was worth doing.
So, yeah, so I'm tricking you all.
Yeah,
it's not
you're
true.
if anything, you're...
But I was just putting across that that's not the case. Anyway,
You've had fun working with me and Tom.
Can we cut this, like...
In the future, if we have a Jemma special, turns out the answer to that question was yes, it was worth it. Bye!